Well, since we're all here, I'm going to call to order the hearing upon the application of Francisco J. Reyes Carvalho at 22 Mulberry Road, dated October 7th, 2025, seeking a special permit to build an 11-foot by 17-foot second-story addition to the existing garage and a new 12-foot by 12-foot rear deck to the existing dwelling, to the rear of the existing dwelling. The property is located in a Residence C zoning district. The proposed second-story addition would be built 5.7 feet from the side lot line, and the proposed deck would be built 5.6 feet from the lot line, whereas the Milton zoning bylaw Article 6, Section 275-10.3 requires that new buildings or portions of buildings be set back a minimum of 10 feet from the side lot line. Additionally, the proposed second-story addition would expand the nonconformity of the existing garage upward and 12 feet, and the 12-foot by 12-foot proposed deck would expand the 5.6-foot setback nonconformity per the Article 4 of nonconformities of the bylaw. My name is Virginia Donahue King, and I'll be acting as the on behalf of the board, making the decision on this today. I have met with the applicant before, earlier this year, when some other portions of the renovations to the house were approved. And since then, the applicant has looked at the space above the garage and proposes to put a bedroom / office up there. And to move the deck to the, basically following out the from this where the current house is on the right-hand side, to extend that for 12 feet, making the nonconformity a little bit more intense. So in the file, I have the application to the Board of Appeals to do this. We have a denial letter for a building permit from our building inspector. We have a plot plan that shows the new position of the deck, the proposed position of the deck. We have an email that explains, which was to our administrator, Mr. Donnelly, from the applicant, explaining why the changes were proposed and some of his reasoning for that, which I have read and digested. And let's see. And we have elevations and floor plans of the house, the proposal additions to the house. So when people speak, if they would state their names clearly and their address, that will give me a good record of who's here and who has things to say on this particular application. So I'm going to turn it over to the applicant and have him kind of summarize what he had in the letter to Mr. Donnelly. I think that states his case quite well.
Thank you, Ms. Virginia. Yes, so the garage right now has an attic above it. It's in a very sharp cape roof that doesn't really allow for much other than storage, and it's unfinished today. And as part of the broader renovation that we're doing of the house, and after the submission of the previous ZBA case, we discussed with the architect the opportunity to make that space be a guest room / office space. In reality, the height of the roof won't really change much. I think it's 2 or 3 feet that the roof is going up. But the main thing is that very acute angle that the roof is in is actually going to be opened up a little bit more, so that there's walking space in the existing attic, and can be finished and converted into a reasonably comfortable guest room and office. Both my wife and I have family abroad, so we often have my parents, her mom visiting, And so we don't really have a great place today to accommodate those visits, and this guest room would play that role during those visits. And then other than that, I work hybrid. My wife has been working hybrid as well. And so we can use some space to actually focus without the kids running around and such while we're on Zoom calls. And then that's on the garage front. And then on the deck front, in the drawings that we had submitted before, we had the deck kind of like in the middle of the property. And also after further discussion, we figured that on the right-hand side of the property where we're proposing it, we're right by the wooded area that is in the back of the church on 138. So it's a nice green wooded area that is also farther out from all the neighbors for privacy. And it also, from a, I guess, shape of the garden perspective, it puts it leaves a better square garden where the deck was supposed to be before in previous drawings. So it leaves for more green and grass and shrubs and plants and such in a better place. And so I guess the constructed side of the backyard now would be on the right-hand side, and then we would leave all the left-hand side for greenery, which in the previous drawing, it had the deck kind of like in the middle. So it had like patches of garden in different places of the backyard. So that's the reasoning for both. We have discussed it with the neighbors and have had no pushback. On the right-hand side of the property, there's the wooded area from the church that is really not inhabited. So I would presume it's not going to affect anybody with shade or noise or anything like that. And then on the left side, as I was saying, the garage roof is really just going up a couple of feet, and should be okay as well, hopefully.
And you have talked to the neighbor to the left, and they approve of this change?
Yes, we have discussed about the whole project, and there were no issues with that.
Okay. Let me ask you one question on the deck. What's the elevation of that? Is that this, like, I'm wondering, is it at the same level as no, it wouldn't be the same level as well, tell me what the level of it would be. How much off the ground is it?
It's at the level of the kitchen and the house. I would say probably like 3 feet, 3 feet off the ground.
So it's pretty minimal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the house is not too much higher up than the ground, let's call it.
Okay, very good. Is there anybody that wanted to weigh in on this, wanted to speak or ask questions of the applicant, Bill?
We have no attendees from the public today.
Well, that makes it easy. I have enjoyed seeing the evolution of your house. And I think what you have proposed has been something that's going to be quite wonderful for your family. And you've been very sensitive to your neighbors. So you've got the support of your neighbors from before. I do remember that as well. And this is, just a small increase in the nonconformity of your house, but it's a very thoughtful way of doing it. And I always appreciate that. The height of the deck is quite minimal. Oftentimes, people will have decks that are, almost a story up, and sometimes that can get kind of noisy and so forth for neighbors. But this is quite low as things go, and you've moved it further away from any of the neighbors that you have, in as much as a parking lot is not really a neighborhood. So,
Right.
So I am going to have my vote of 1, which guarantees you what you want.
Yeah.
So I find that, yes, it does increase the nonconformity, but doesn't go further into the areas or anything. It's well thought out, and congratulations on your special permit for this phase of the renovation at your house.
Yeah, that's phase 2. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for those words. I appreciate it. And yeah, we just started the digging, the excavation for the first phase that you reviewed a few months back. So we're right in the midst of it. So this is perfect timing.
Very good. Well, I'll be putting together a decision on this. I'll try to get that out as quickly as we can. And once that, you probably remember this, once I file it with Mr. Donnelly, he brings it to the town clerk where they have to put it out for a 20-day appeal period. And once
Yes.
that period passes with nobody appealing it, then your builder can go and get the building permit, and everything will be copacetic. So congratulations, and good luck with all the building.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for a second time in this process. And yes, I know that you're extremely busy, but if there's anything that you can do to submit the written approval, I know in your time as soon as you can, because we're starting the project, and ideally, hopefully, if we can kind of get them to work on this additional work together with the rest, that would be wonderful.
I will endeavor to do that as quickly as possible.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thank you, Bill, for setting it up as well.
You're welcome.
And now enjoy the evening.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
You too.
Luck to all.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.